This is Sam Kirby, host of Cinema Stories. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media.
Hey, it's Baxter Colburn here from Public House Media. Did you know that we just added a store here at Public House Media? No, I'm not talking about a grocery store where you can go buy apples or bananas or peanut butter, which are all fantastic, especially when peanut butter's on all of those. Anyway, we've added a store here at Public House Media so you can not only come and represent your favorite podcast network, but also represent your favorite shows as well, too. Just go over to thepHmedia.com and look in the top right corner where you'll see the button that says Store. Click on that and you can search through all of our great products. Or if you go to our Facebook page, Public House Media, you can see on the left-hand side a tab that says Store. All of our products are listed there as well too. It's the new Public House Media store. You don't want to miss it. It is fantastic. Buy some of that great swag to support your favorite shows and to support Public House Media. Check it out today.
This is Danny Domer, host of podcast The Star Wars Story, here on Public House Media. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media. Once you're done with this episode, I hope you'll come check out my show, Podcast The Star Wars Story, where we talk about Star Wars and everything there is to know about Star Wars. A new show comes out every other week, also known as bi-monthly for you calendar folk. Don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you never miss an episode of Podcast, The Star Wars Story. Thanks again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
Good morning. Welcome to Public House Media. My name is Kim Meyer. And I'm so glad to be with you this morning. Welcome to Monday. Welcome to April. Is this kind of like a delayed April Fool's joke, maybe? I'm not sure. Let me get back to my start point here. All right. Good morning. Welcome to Public House Media. My name is Kim Meyer, and I'm so glad to be with you here on Choose to Rise. I want to welcome you to this amazing community, welcome you to this podcast if you're listening later in life, or if you're watching me live, welcome. Thanks for joining me. Today I want to talk to you about willpower. Many people believe they could improve their lives only if they had more of this mysterious thing that people call willpower. With more self-control, we could be able to eat right, we'd be able to exercise regularly, we'd be able to avoid the things that bring us down, we'd be able to save for retirement, and maybe we'd even be able to stop procrastinating. We'd be able to achieve all kinds of noble goals if we had this crazy thing called willpower. And take, for example, the result of the American... I'm just struggling this morning. Okay, take an example of the American Psychological Association's annual Stress in America survey. This survey asks, among other things, about participants' abilities to make a healthy lifestyle change. And the survey results regularly cite the lack of willpower as the number one reason for not following through with their goals. Isn't that kind of crazy? This mysterious thing called willpower is holding people back from getting to where they want to be in life. And I don't know about you, but if you have places to go, if you've got people to see, if you've got goals to achieve, you're going to want to find out more about this willpower thing. And so that's exactly what I'm going to do with you this morning. We're going to talk about what willpower is. We're going to talk about how you can get more of it in your life. And we're going to spend all week actually in the podcast discussing willpower and how you can use it to reach your goals. So this morning I want to talk to you about willpower, and I'm getting a lot of my information from the American Psychological Association, the APA. But we're really just going to kind of dive in deeper and talk. I'm obviously put my own spin on things. That's what I always do at Choose to Rise. I want to help you be the best version of yourself and help you live the life that you are intended to live. All right, let's dive in. Willpower is this ability to resist short-term gratification in pursuit of long-term goals or objectives. So what that really means, it's the stuff that helps you keep going. It's the thing that helps you pursue and push through the hard times. It's what gets you going and keeps you going when things don't tend to be what you're wanting them to be or turn out the way you want them to turn out. Willpower is correlated with positive life outcomes such as better grades, higher self-esteem, lower substance abuse rates, greater financial security, and improving your physical and mental health. Willpower is the mysterious mindset that helps you dig deeper, go farther, and stick-to-itiveness that you would necessarily need in order to achieve a big goal, because there is going to be struggle. There's going to be the things that come up in life that are going to try to knock you off of your path of success. And willpower is one of those things, that mindset that's going to help you push through and get there. When willpower fails, exposure to an emotional charged stimulus overrides one's rational cognitive system and leads to impulsive actions. So when we are working out for a week, or we're eating well for a month or so, and we step on the scale and we don't see the number we want, or we are at work and we've been pushing really hard to finish this project, and we pitch it to the boss or to whoever and they don't necessarily like it. When something comes along in your life, when it starts to derail you or feels like it's starting to derail you, your willpower is the thing that's going to help you emotionally stay in the zone and not get you off track. It's going to help not override one of those rational cognitive systems that's going to help you just impulsively react. Impulsively reacting to something in a situation would be like you just throwing caution to the wind and, well, forget it then kind of thing. Willpower is going to help you stay the course and stick with it. One's capacity for self-control appears to be persistent. Children with better self-control as preschoolers tend to have better self-control as adults. Teenagers that have better self-control because they've learned the habits and things that are going to help them understand that they need to stick with something to gain results have better success as adults as well. Individuals with low self-control show differing brain patterns when presented with temptation stimuli. So you're eating, starting on a healthy living diet. You are changing things up in your life. You're deciding to get rid of pop. You've decided to cut back on the sweets. You've decided to live a healthier life. And something comes along where all of a sudden it's a birthday party at work, or all of a sudden you get invited out with friends and you don't know what to do. You're presented with this opportunity and it's a temptation to kind of derail your goals. So what are you going to do about it? Well, you can decide to stick with it. That's going to be your willpower. Or you're going to decide to cave in. Depending on how much willpower you have, you're just going to help decide which decision you make. And how strong your why is, of why you want to reach that goal, is also going to have an impact on it. So willpower can be compared like a muscle. It becomes fatigued with overuse. So if you're trying to eat better, you're trying to improve your life with nutrition, the more you put yourself at temptation, the more you're going to kind of get worn down. It's kind of like if you were doing a bicep curl, okay? You pick up a weight and you start curling that weight, okay? You're curling. At first, it's going to seem not so bad. You're just going to keep going. But as you use it more and more, that muscle is going to get tired and it's going to start to kind of wane, and it's going to start to feel like, oh my goodness, why am I doing this? And then pretty soon you're going to drop that weight because your arm is so tired. Same thing happens with willpower. Same thing happens when you are putting yourself out there with too many temptations. Willpower can be compared to a muscle that's being fatigued with overuse. Studies have shown that repeated resisting temptation drains your ability to withstand future enticements. So if you say, I'm going to give up sweets right before Easter, that might be a crazy thing to do because you're going to be tempted with all kinds of things. There's now candy in my house. There's amazing desserts at family functions. Maybe you have all kinds of, then there's a birthday celebration at work, or somebody brought in some treats or whatever. The more you have temptation, the less likely you're going to be able to withstand those temptations. Willpower depletion has a physical basis. Individuals with willpower can be depleted and have decreased activity in the brain region involved with cognition and have lower body glucose levels of people whose willpower has not been diminished. So the more decisions you make basically in a day kind of breaks down that decision barrier. Kind of thinking of it as like you have a full tank of decision making skills, right? And as the day goes on, you have to make more and more decisions. That depletion, it just starts taking away from the amount of decisions that you have yet to do. So a lot of things that people do, including myself, that helps just take out some decisions that you don't have to make in a day, shortening that up, is like you think of people like Steve Jobs, or you think of people like the CEO of my company, Carl Deichler. They wear the same thing all the time. It's just pretty simple. They have khakis, they have the same kind of tennis shoes, they even have the same kind of shirts, just a straight up button up. It doesn't matter. But whatever it is, it's it's taking out the decisions you have to make in a day. If you have lots of variety in your closet, and you have to narrow that down in something, that's a lot of decision making. And you don't always think about it because you just do it every day. But if you can even take out the decisions of your morning, the fewer decisions you have to make throughout the morning and the day, the more likely you're going to have cognitive ability to sustain temptations later in the day. So for me, I lay out my clothes the night before. I have my meals all prepped and ready to go. I don't have to think about it. I just grab and go. I get dressed for my workout the night before, so I don't even think about something as minute as what workout what sports bra to wear, right? It's just a matter of planning ahead and taking out all the little decisions by having something done for you in advance. Willpower depletion impacts a range of behaviors. So it's not always just about what you're going to wear, but having all of the decisions for you already happening in the morning is going to deplete things in your life, like what kind of foods you're going to eat, what kinds of decisions you're going to make with friends, how you're going to spend your time. And so having those kinds of things done for you in advance, avoiding those temptations and planning ahead are effective tactics for maintaining that self-control in the face of temptation, wherever that shows up. Because it's not every part of your day is going to be under control, but if you can control the pieces where you have control over them, the things that are outside of your control are going to have much less impact on you. Another thing that you can do to kind of keep yourself regulated and keep yourself going is to maintain your steady blood glucose levels, such as like eating regularly healthy meals and snacks. That may really help you decide on better choices along the way, because one, if you have your food prepared for you, it's going to be simple, no decision there. But secondly, what I talked about earlier is like when your blood glucose levels go down, that's when temptations and irrationality kind of steps in. So if you can focus better by having well-prepared, healthy foods available to you to keep your blood glucose going, eating every couple hours really helps with this, and it's definitely going to reduce the temptations of life and other things going on, because you're not going to feel hungry. You're not going to feel like you need something, because you're fulfilling those needs already by giving healthy meals and snacks and being prepared for when something that's going to tempt you to go down the negative road goes. Because being depleted is one area that can reduce your willpower of other spheres, it's more effective to focus on a single goal at a time rather than attacking a whole list of things at once. So if you have this ultimate goal of XYZ, you can break that down into smaller pieces and just focus on 1 to 2 pieces at a time. I was talking with a woman this last weekend on some health and wellness goals, because that's what I do as a coach. I help support women with health and fitness and confidence and motivation. And one of the things that she talked about was that she wanted to lose 70 pounds. That's a lot. Like, that's more than my son weighs, and he's 8. So that's going to take more motivation and more willpower than someone that maybe wants to lose 5, but maybe not. Maybe it's just a matter of focusing in on the small things to get to where she wants to go. So one of the things that we talked about, she knows what she needs to do. She has the program. She has everything that I offer as a coach. And so it's just a matter of doing it. It's a matter of having the willpower to go forward and make the decisions that she needs to make in order to get there. And so when we kind of broke it down, she knows that she needs to eat better. She knows that she needs to move more. She knows that she needs to push play. She knows that she needs to connect to the community. But knowing and doing are 2 different things. And so we really broke it down and said, this next week, all I want you to do is make sure you push play. All I want you to do is make sure you get your 30-minute workout in. That's it. She said, I know I have these color-coded containers that are supposed to help me with portions. What do I do with those? And I said, let's not worry about those yet. Let's just worry about you making a commitment to yourself to move more and feel better that way. Let's get in a habit of getting active and doing what we need to do. Just like a muscle that you need to strengthen with your body, you need to strengthen the self-control, the willpower to take action on your goals. So that's what we're going to strengthen this week. I got her in a motivating group with some other amazing women. She's in our morning movers and shakers group. She's going to help. That's the second thing. We're going to help her get going in the morning, wake her up in the morning, get her going, make sure she gets that workout in, and then she can go on with the rest of her day. And as she's going throughout the day, she's probably going to have more energy and more more willpower to do better nutritionally, but that's not what our focus is right now. Our focus is 100% on exercising regularly, getting up every single morning and getting it done so she can go about the rest of her day. So just like muscles are strengthened by regular exercise, regularly exercising, the self-control may improve your willpower strength over time. And so what I challenge you to do today, what I want you to get focused on is whatever big goal you have, break it down into small steps. I want you to focus on the little things. What's one thing that you can get really good at this week, that you can do consistently for a full week? Whether it's getting up and moving more, maybe it's swapping out pop for water, maybe it's something as small as getting up during the commercials and walking around your house. Just get moving more. I was talking to a woman earlier this month, or like I guess it was last month. It's only April 2nd now. But I was talking to a woman in March, and she was talking about how she got started with her journey, her physical fitness journey, was just walking laps around her house. She said, whenever I felt like I needed to go into the kitchen to eat something, she has like kind of a loop in her house, and she's like, I'd walk through the kitchen and I'd keep going because I knew once I got in there, I was going to do something that was not going to help me get to my goals. So I just kept walking, and pretty soon I was doing 1 lap, and then I was doing 2 laps, and she's like, then I felt like, for every time that I come in here, because I want something to eat, I'm going to do an additional lap. So then she was doing additional laps, and it wasn't punishing herself. Some of you are probably thinking that. She was actually conditioning herself to move more. And pretty soon I was just doing laps around my house because it felt good. Not because I was trying to go to the kitchen to eat something, but because it just made my body feel good. And I knew that, then she started challenging herself to other small things. Like she was watching a TV show. When the commercials come on, she would just start making laps around her house and see how many laps she could get in during the commercial break. And then the next time she would do it again. And that's what she was doing for physical fitness. That's where she was at. That's where she was starting. And now she gets a 30-minute yoga session in every single day because she's just started. She was starting to use her willpower to strengthen those muscles, to strengthen her mind, to overcome just a little thing like avoiding eating just for the whim, and started fueling her body for good reasons and not necessarily just because. And in incorporating that, the willpower there, she started moving more, and she started feeling better about herself, and she started achieving small wins that eventually created to be big wins. She has since lost 50 pounds and is doing amazing over the course of this last year. And she has gained so much confidence and so much strength and so much willpower because she's decided to make a change. She decided to something, she committed to something, and she found success. And that's really what this is all about. This week, I want to start talking to you more about willpower, how you can strengthen it now that you know what it is, now that you know what it's there for, that it helps you make decisions, that it's going to help you stick to your goals, how it's going to help you. It's just a mindset change. It's about believing that you are worth it. It's about knowing that you can achieve anything, and it's about making decisions and preparing yourself for what's about to come so that you can reduce the temptations in your life, that you can do things more at a better way for you and for achieving your goals faster and easier in the long run. So that's what I got for you this morning. Next week on Wednesday, I'll be back to you, and we'll be talking about 8 tips to increase your willpower. And so we're going to be talking about willpower all this week, like I said. And if you are a part of the podcast, thank you for joining us. Thank you for sharing this information with somebody. And I'm just going to thank you ahead of time because I know you're going to go ahead and do that. And if you are here on iTunes, or if you would head to iTunes and give us a rating, help other people see us more, that would be very much appreciated as well. And thank you so much for being a part of Choose to Rise and Public House Media. And come back and watch other episodes on Public House Media, or listen in to the great podcast that we have here. I really appreciate you coming and listening, and I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day. Talk to you later.